Russia launched its biggest invasion into Ukraine since the start of the full-scale war. Ground troops, backed by jets, drones and artillery, pushed across the border into Kharkiv region in the northeast. Russian forces claim to have captured more than 40 square miles of territory along the frontier. But the Ukrainian military is fighting back. A key battleground is the town of Vovchansk and the village of Lipsy to the west. We've been reporting on the front line. This is what we've witnessed. Every moment on the ground in the town of Vovchansk is high risk. Russian forces launched a surprise attack from across their border overnight, and all residents have been advised to leave. This town went through Russia's initial full-scale invasion in 2022. It then endured the Russian occupation. It was liberated when Ukrainian forces pushed the Russians back, and now it's under terror once more, Russian attacks and people being told to evacuate. Hundreds have fled Vovchansk and the surrounding area since the morning. Mainly the elderly. All look tired and terrified.
At night, warplanes were dropping bombs. There were so many it seemed like the heavens were exploding. It was so scary, so loud.
How are you feeling?
We were living under occupation. We have lived through a lot of things. Both of us were tortured and interrogated by the Russians.
This town is a war zone. He says the blaze must be stopped because it could spread, and pensioners live here.
I was in my apartment. There was a huge explosion and all the shards of glass fell down on me.
The bomb landed here just a bit earlier. You can see it's left a devastating crater. It's blasted this house. Residents, civilians were living here. There's a civilian residential block next door. People are panicking that the fire in here is going to ignite fires in their homes too. They're terrified, they're confused. People don't want to leave even though help is here to evacuate them. They say they want to sort out their belongings first. It's absolute chaos.
We didn't sleep at all last night. There was shelling. They hit the hospital next to us and all our windows shattered.
We head further into Vovchansk. The town centre lies in ruins. Some damage had been inflicted by previous Russian shelling over recent months. But then this place was targeted in a major assault early on Friday morning. Residents have been told to flee, but now and then there's the shortest glimpse of life. The centre of the town is absolutely devastated, buildings destroyed. We can hear the sound of explosions. It's empty. There's clearly a battle still going on here. Russia is attacking from multiple directions, but this is the quickest route to the regional capital of Kharkiv. We've seen smoke in the trees as we went past. There's also smoke up ahead, which looks like it's from a fresh strike. It's eerie. There's been cars racing past us. There's not much sign of life. It does feel very tense. The village of Ruski Tishki was battered by Russian strikes in the first months of the war. But families like this couple ventured back after it was liberated by the Ukrainians. Now they're fleeing again.
We were here yesterday and the sounds were far away. Today it's closer, much closer.
But as the human misery grows, criticism is mounting about why the border wasn't better defended. Footage on social media appears to show Russian troops simply walking in unchallenged. No sign of any fortifications. Are they Russians?
Yes.
Russian troops inside the border town of Vovchansk earlier today. This drone footage was shared exclusively with Sky News by a Ukrainian soldier who's also on the ground battling the assault.
This is just the first wave. They are testing our defenses. They are preparing their artillery. When they completely enter the town, they will bring in their reserves.
As they scan the terrain looking for targets, there's frustration that Ukraine is once again having to battle an invasion in the northeast, 2 years after Russia's last assault. Denis believes his side should have built better defences.
It's shocking. We are having to defend ourselves again, losing territory and the lives of soldiers. This time, the enemy came much more prepared.
That includes drones and large bombs. This feed gives a sense of the carnage.
This is the outskirts of Vovchansk. The Russians are evacuating the wounded.
His team relays the coordinates to another unit. Moments later, there's a strike seemingly on the Russian position. They work relentlessly into the night, trying to defend their land. Perhaps surprisingly, there's no sense of panic here, and officials say their defensive lines around the city are strong. But with Russian forces slowly gaining ground, it may well only be a matter of time before those assurances are put to the test. We can't see the jet, but it's most likely Ukrainian, on the attack. Heading towards the front line, it's not long before there are more signs of battle. We want to reach a Ukrainian military point, but are suddenly told to stop. A voice over the radio says, "Don't come here, don't come at all." We're trying to get to an artillery position just outside Vovchansk, but we've just been told to pull over because they've started firing. They've told us that we might not be able to go forward because it's too dangerous at the moment. Ukraine is belatedly hardening its defences, but the last few days show they've already been badly breached. We visit a second artillery position on the new front line that spans some 40 miles. This place is close to the Russian border, which is where the gun is pointed. It also points to a major problem that magnifies the already monumental challenge posed by Russia's advance.
We are saving our artillery shells right now. We fire one, they fire back 5. Our guys are dying because the West is not supplying us with enough weapons.
A second soldier agrees.
The enemy has a lot more than we do.
If you had more ammunition, what difference would it make?
It would increase the number of dead Russians. 100%.
The guns fired 5 times today, but we've been told they would fire more if they had more ammunition. Also, they'd like a newer gun. They call this one Grandma because it's so old. The ultimate definition of battling against the odds. Outgunned and outnumbered, but not outdone.